Look at when the article is written, September 27. Montreal Gazette. This is one of the only, no, actually, it is the only English language newspaper in Montreal. So it's actually quite significant. And in September 27, 2021, they're still talking about Gamergate. I mean, my God, Gamergate really butthurted these people, didn't it? The amount of assert from a consumer revolt, from everyone going like, fuck your identity politics, we are gamers, and you don't get to talk to us that way. Wow, even today they're still upset about it. Holy crap, imagine if the Democrats would still be upset about the Tea Party or Occupy Wall Street today. It would be weird, wouldn't it? They just can't let it go. Again, the beginning of Gamergate was a unity between left-leaning people and right-wing people, and they just freaked the hell out. But anyway, right, so the reason I'm talking about this is due to the fact that we're going full circle. So, when I started playing video games, it was the right wing that was suggesting that video games cause violence. And they were giving up the argument altogether. They were saying, look, we can't do anything about video games. We lost the plot. Ban them, please, help, ban them. We don't know what to do about them. Ban them, it's the only solution. And people were laughing at the right-wingers, like, dude, you're insane. Just shut the fuck up. Let me play video games. Just go away. Get the hell away. Find something else to do. Find a hobby. Just let people alone. I'm at the computer, clicking my keys and moving them out. I'm not killing anyone. Just get the fuck out of here. And now we have the progressives, all right? Like an ideology that is entirely opposed to right-wingers. And they are the ones that's like, video games are causing violence. Ban them. We don't know what to do. We lost the argument. We lost the plot. The only solution is to ban. And it's again like, get the fuck out of here. Leave us alone when playing video games. Just shut the fuck up. And you get to see progressive people being like Jack Thompson. Now, if you don't know who Jack Thompson is, you can go on his Wikipedia page. His main complaint was with GTA. He said that these are murder simulators where young men are plotting their crimes. And I was like, my God, like GTA, that's a game that was a bestseller. Like, how many people played it? 7 million. Wow. Can you imagine? Like 7 million sleeper cells. At any point, any one of them can snap. And now, I guess, you know, like when Jack Thompson was there, it was GTA 3. Now it's GTA 5. Jack Thompson isn't here anymore, but we got progressives. Staunch activists. And the rhetoric that they're making doesn't make any sense. I mean, I don't understand how a human being can think like that. They don't do logic in schools anymore, do they? Because it's not logical. Like everything that they're writing here makes no sense. So it's like the topic I will cover today might earn me more abuse than writing about vaccines, language laws, and Bill 21. Well, yeah, because you're insulting people. You're saying that gamers enjoy sexist and violent things. You're calling gamers sexist and violent. You're calling millions of people bad things. You know when Trump said that the media is the enemy of the people? Guess who freaked out? The media. Why do you think they freaked out? Because they were insulted. What type of normal human being do you think likes getting insulted? And that's the thing, you know, like the journalist gets to stay on his platform and insult hundreds of millions of people, but if 2 or 3 have a potty mouth and go on their Twitter and say anything negative, it's like, I'm being insulted! Help, donate to my Patreon! I'm being insulted, donate to my Patreon! So, video games. Yes, people get passionate about things they like. You know, if you take a woman who enjoys planting magnolias in her garden, and then you go onto her garden and you trample it, you just step on it, you step on the magnolia, you step on it, guess what happens? She'll get angry now, won't she? It's completely rational to get angry when people are attacking the things you care about. 100%. Anyway, many gamers take criticism badly especially from a woman. How do you know? Did you get the gamer and you had a woman criticizing him and then a man? And you see like the reaction? Did you do the experiment? No, you're not scientific. Shut the fuck up. Threats of violence, sexual assaults, even death have occurred. I've never heard about death occurring because someone criticized video games. I mean, I'm not saying it's not possible, but how do they put it? Like, how does Fauci puts it? It is incredibly rare. Seriously, if there was, you'd think they would give a link? I love it. Even if 48% of Canadian gamers today are women. So women, you're saying, are now sending sexual assaults, threats of violence, and even death? Holy shit! Yeah, maybe video games are to blame. No, seriously, look at this, okay? Many gamers take criticism badly, especially from a woman, even if 48% of Canadian gamers are women. So 1 out of 2 gamers, according to her, are women. And those women take criticism badly, especially from a woman. How the fuck is that my fault? It seems to be universal. Like, according to you, humans of all genders, sexual orientation, don't take criticism nicely from women. Maybe women should learn how to give more constructive criticism then, if that's your point. I don't know. I never got criticism. Just putting it out there. Like, when I get criticism, I right-click and I use block. See, I'm not privileged to have the powers of the TOS ban people I don't like, so I just mute them. But anyway, in 2014, a group of male gamers, so she actually went into their house and looked into their pants, or maybe asked them how they identify as. Like in 2014, as far as I recall, people wouldn't put the pronouns in the bio. They would put mental illnesses in the bio. I'm not kidding. That was actually a thing. Like, people would have a big sausage and they would say their name and then they would say, I got ADHD, I got bipolar disorder, I got this, I got that. They were almost wearing their mental illnesses like medals on their chest. It was bizarre, right? And then, thank God, now they put pronouns. They don't put mental illnesses anymore. I guess they realized, okay, optics. But the reason they would do that is to victimize themselves. It was basically like, hey, I got mental illness, okay? I'm allowed to criticize you, but if you say anything negative towards me, you're a bully because you're picking on someone that has mental issues. It was a tactic. But anyway, right, so it began when successful game developer Zoe Quinn... No. See, this is bigotry. She wasn't a successful game developer. She was the most renowned, the best video game developer in human history. I mean, the Nobel Prize should have been given to her. The Nobel Peace Prize, the Nobel Literature Prize. I mean, you just don't understand how powerful Zoe Quinn used to be. I mean, to just say that she was a successful game developer completely undercuts and underrates what she was doing. Honestly, you should be fired just for saying this. Like, it's you're a misogynist, pretty much. But anyway. So her ex-boyfriend published a blog about an inappropriate, in his view, relationship she had with a journalist who had praised her games. Yes, Zoe Quinn, a feminist, said that cheating is like rape. And if you cheat, the person that you're in a relationship with would not give you consent for sex. And then her ex-boyfriend publishes a blog and says, dude, this woman cheated on me with 5 people. And some of them were game journalists, and some of them gave positive review to her games. So it was more about game journalists. It's like, how often does this happen? How often do video game journalists sleep with women? Is this why they want diversity? Is this why, so they can have the opportunity to exchange favors? Like, that was the controversy. Not to mention, I believe 2 of the video game developers that were accused of sleeping with her were also married. So obviously they freaked out and they started banning the topic everywhere, right? Because they had wife was at home while the succubus was in the bedroom. So anyway, it got ugly, attacks, 1,000 online threats. She had to leave her home and stay away from her job, and the police got involved. She forgets to mention that not a single person was arrested because no one broke any laws. We got this awful thing in reality called legal matters, right? So no legal matters were caused. But, you know, she does mention that Zoe Quinn just happened to go to the United Nations and talk about this. You know, such awful harassment. It's so awful. Bullied out of your house, but then you go to the United Nations. I mean, what are the odds of that? What are the odds of that? Have you ever felt bullied or threatened on the internet? If yes, did you manage to go to the United Nations? Probably not. And by the way, 1,000 death threats? Holy shit, that's so low. I mean, in my time on YouTube, I probably got hundreds of thousands of evil messages online. You know what I do? I right-click and I mute. I right-click and I block. Very simple. But like, this article, it's almost as if it's written in 2016 when people didn't understand the internet. It's almost as if someone gives you a death threat online. You actually think that that person is going to buy a ticket with a plane, fly all the way to your country, and carry it out, right? I mean, this is what we're led to believe now? Are we not grown adults? I mean, fighting words on the internet are problematic. So if I'm playing PlayStation or Xbox and someone says, I'm going to fuck your mom, I actually need to go to my mother now to make sure that she's safe? Is this the level of dialogue we're having? I mean, who are you convincing with this? Again, this might have worked in 2016 when very few people were using the internet. But nowadays, people kind of get it. They kind of understand how it's like. So if you're playing video games and someone says, hey, I'm going to fuck your mom, you're like, okay, shut the fuck up, mute and block. So anyway, I'm going to just point out, I find it funny, like she goes on and she says that this is literally what's encouraging people to be sexist. And then she complains that there aren't enough women in the gaming industry. Why the holy fuck is a woman, Lies Ravery, complaining that there aren't women in the video gaming industry? Why did you become a journalist, Liz? Why didn't you get into the gaming industry if you care so much about it? Honestly, like, how many times has this not happened? Like, you see a feminist whining that there aren't enough women in STEM. Honestly, you know what you should do? Like, you want to ban video games? How about we ban women from journalism? So that those women who can't enter journalism will go to STEM. And we keep the ban up until there's enough women in STEM, and then they can go to journalism. How about that? Is that a great idea? I think it's a great idea. I will fix the gender pay gap by doing so. Instead of working for Montreal, you can work for Blizzard. I heard they're hiring. No, seriously, unironically, they gave like, $10 million for diversity things? Like, this is recently. I just got bored talking about Blizzard. Like, every single video, it feels like I can make one about Blizzard. I just want to talk about something else. So anyway, this is the reason she writes the drivel. This is the reason why she writes the garbage. There is a compulsive gamer in my life. At 26, he has no life. I assume she's talking about her son. No real friends, no prospect, can't hold a job for more than a few months. He did not pursue higher education. He won the Governor's General's Academic Medal for Excellence in high school. His only life is online. He plays at least 12 hours a day. And blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I assume she's a concerned mother, worried about her child. And she just looked to the internet, found out like some random things about video games, and that's it. I agree that video game addiction is an issue. And yes, if you're going to be unable to hold a job and you play 16 hours a day, then you are addicted. You have a problem. And there's people that suffer from various addictions. Like video games is just the latest one because of technology. But there used to be people addicted to reading books. Not actual books that improve your knowledge. No, like stories. So they would read Lord of the Rings, then they would read Ice and Fire. Like they would constantly read books after books after books after books. That's pathological. There's people that read manga. There's people that watch anime all the time. The reason you call the TV the idiot box. So there is this thing called addiction. Now, I don't think video games are the problem. I think the upbringing is the problem. Like something happened in that household which got this kid to be addicted to video games, to isolate, to shut himself out from the world. The problem aren't video games. That's the symptom. The problem is that the kid wants to shut himself up from the world. And this can only be blamed on the parents. Like, I don't know, maybe they had a divorce. Maybe they beat him up when he was a kid. Maybe they didn't manage to establish a connection. Maybe they weren't there when he was growing up. Maybe he was bullied at school. Maybe he got assaulted sexually. Yes, men can get sexually assaulted as well. Maybe that's why they shot. I don't know. There's plenty of reasons of why this could have happened. But what I'm telling you is that I don't know a single person who's addicted to something, whether that's anime, video games, or whatever, and is shutting himself out from the real world and is a happy person. Like, they're not suffering from some depression. They're not suffering from something. And so that's the main issue that she needs to take from this. It's not video games. If video games didn't exist tomorrow, this guy with the addiction that shuts himself up would find another reason to shut himself up. Like, they would find another hobby. So anyway, her beef is with her son, and she's using this platform in order to insult a community with hundreds of millions of people. And then they wonder why they get criticism on social media. Don't criticize her on social media, because she's going to use it as an excuse to give to her Patreon. So just leave her alone, by the way. This is why I don't even care who she is. The only reason I even looked at who it is because it was complaining about not enough women in STEM. And I want to see, like, okay, is she a woman? Yes. Why is she in STEM? But you know, like, this is the mentality, like right here. You can't drag a 6'2", 26-year-old adult someplace he doesn't want to go. Yes, you can't drag a woman who wants to be a journalist into STEM. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section.